Good afternoon to everyone. So in today's class, we are going to start a new concept, a new chapter, that is measurement of electrical parameters. That means here we will measure electrical resistance, electrical inductance, and electrical capacitance. That means we are measuring elements. Okay. So there are two types of elements present in electrical circuits generally. That is passive elements and active elements, who comprises of resistance, inductance, and capacitance. So in order to measure these elements, that is resistance, inductance, and capacitance, we are using a techniques that is called bridges. So we'll classify the bridges into two types. One is DC bridges and second one is AC bridges. So we will see one by one what is meant by bridge. How can we classify the bridges into DC bridges and AC bridges? So before starting the concept of bridges, today we will see just an introduction perspective, how to measure these electrical parameters. That means how to measure the electrical elements. If we see the discussion, so first we will categorize the elements into DC bridges. So what are the things we are going to discuss means in this concept of DC bridges? So what is the main objective of discussing DC bridges? Okay, so first our main objective is to measure resistance. Our main purpose is to measure resistance. So in order to measure resistance, there is a various types of resistance are available, low resistance, medium resistance, and high resistance and all. So we will discuss with respect to various methods involved in measuring low resistance, various methods involved in measuring medium resistance, various methods involved in measuring high resistance, and we will also discuss about Wheatstone bridge. Most of you people are familiar with Wheatstone bridge. It came across in your plus 2. Okay, that is a general basic Wheatstone bridge up to your knowledge. We will elaborate that general Wheatstone bridge, and next we will discuss about Kelvin double bridge. Okay, for measuring of low resistance, we will discuss about Kelvin double bridge. We will define what is meant by Kelvin's bridge first, and next we will adopt the concept of Kelvin's double bridge, and next we will discuss about the loss of charge method, and next we will discuss about Megger. Main purpose of Megger Megger is nothing but an instrument. The main purpose of Megger is to measure earth resistance, and we will solve some numerical problems related to this type of theoretical discussion. So first we will discuss about the theory, and next we will do the mathematical analysis. Next we will solve the numerical problems. So that is the actual chronology which we are going to see, and that's what we did in previous things. In previously we discussed about PMMC instruments, we derived the torque equations, numerical problems. In MI instruments, we discussed the theoretical analysis, mathematical analysis, numerical problems. So similarly here also in DC bridges perspective, first we will see the theoretical part, next we will do the mathematical analysis, and next we will solve some numerical problems, so that it will be the entire concept will be clear. Okay, so first what is the main purpose of this learning method DC bridges means? So we know the objective. Objective is clear. Our objective is to observe and to study principle of operation with respect to various types of bridges. Okay. So what is the outcome here? So at the end of the session, what we will select, or we can know what is the actual method for measuring the resistance. So that is the difference between objective and outcome. In objective and outcome. So here, what is meant by resistance? Before going into the bridges concept, first we will see what is meant by resistance. Okay, we all know that resistance is a part of an elemental structure. It is an electrical element. Okay, so what is meant by resistance means the resistance main purpose is to oppose the flow of current. The main purpose of resistance is to oppose the flow of current. So it is a passive element. Mostly it's a passive elemental structure. The main purpose is to oppose the flow of current, or it has to reduce the current flow. Okay, and there are various additional applications are there, like adjusting the signal levels. Okay, and dividing the voltages, bias active elements, and to terminate the transmission lines. So these are the various applications with respect to the resistors nomenclature. So if we see the types of resistors, what are the various types of resistors means? There are various types of resistors exhibit in normal industry, like wire wound resistors, metal film resistors, thin film resistors, okay, variable resistors, thermistors, light emitting resistors, light dependent resistors. So these are the various types of resistors in a particular electrical field which we are familiar in our lab structures. Okay, so if we see the classification of resistances, we said we have to measure the resistance. In the introduction slide itself, we have spoken that we will measure the resistance in three categories. One is with respect to low resistance, and second one is with respect to medium resistance, and third one is with respect to high resistance. So here we are discussing, or we are dealing with respect to three classification of resistances. One is resistance in order of 1 ohm is categorized as low resistance. Okay, this is categorized as low resistance, and resistance at a particular range which includes from 1 ohm to 0.1 mega ohm, that is represented as medium resistance. This is the second classification where we restricted the range of resistance. We categorized the, or we classified the resistor depending upon its range. Up to an order of 1 ohm, it is categorized as low resistance. At a particular range from 1 ohm to 0.1 mega ohm, that is represented as medium resistance. So up to a particular resistance, the next level of 0.1 mega ohm is called as high resistance. Okay, high resistance. So how can we measure the elements here? How can we measure means, so for a medium resistance measurement, we have to involve these type of methods like ammeter, voltmeter method, substitution method, Wheatstone bridge method, and ohmmeter method. So these are the general existent methods in existence for measuring of medium resistance. We need these type of things like ammeter, voltmeter method is one of the important method, and second one is substitution method, and third one is Wheatstone bridge, and fourth one is nothing but ohm meter method. So at this type of discussion, we can see upon these four important methods, one of the important discussion is Wheatstone bridge. With the help of Wheatstone bridge, we can measure the medium resistance quite accurately. In our syllabus nomenclature also, the measurement of medium resistance by Wheatstone bridge is clearly subjected. That's why we are going to discuss the concept of medium resistance measurement with the help of Wheatstone bridge. Okay. So before going to discuss about the concept of bridges, first, what is meant by bridge? We keep on saying DC bridges, AC bridges, okay, and the resistance measurement can be done with the help of DC bridges and all. So first, before discussing or before categorizing the concept of bridges, first we have to define the concept of bridge. What is the fundamental concept of bridge? What is meant by bridge means, so electrical components are arranged in the form of a ring structure. If the electrical components are arranged in the form of a ring structure or bridge structure, that is called as a that structure of electrical circuits is called as a bridge. That means here the bridge is exhibited in the form of a loop. Okay, it is exhibited in the form of a loop segmentation. Okay, so this loop is having a particular arms or branches. Okay, generally for an electrical bridge, here we have four arms or four bridges, four branches. Okay, so each branch contains one or two electrical components. It may be a resistance, or it may be resistance inductance, or it may be resistance capacitance, or it may be inductance capacitance, whatever it may be the application. Okay, so from this discussion, what we are going to say, what is the definition of bridge? Bridge is nothing but a form of a ring structure. Okay, it's a form of constructing an elemental structure. Okay, we are constructing an elemental structure with the help of electrical components. That may be a resistance, that may be an inductance, or that may be an capacitance. So here generally how can we construct this type of bridge means, so this bridge is constructed in the form of a loop which is having four arms or branches. We will see in the further slides how a bridge can look like. Okay, so entire in every branch, that means we are having four arms or four branches. So every branch or every arm will have one or two elements of electrical, electrical elements. Okay, so if we classify the bridges overall bridges can be classified into two types depending upon the operational parameters. Bridges can be classified into two types. First one is DC bridges and the second one is AC bridges. DC bridge and AC bridge. That means if the bridge circuit is operated with respect to a DC voltage, okay, if the bridge circuit is operated with respect to a DC voltage, that is called as an DC bridge. That is called as a DC bridge. Okay, so if the bridge circuit is operated with respect to an AC voltage, that will be called as an AC bridge or AC bridge circuit. So here what we are doing in the concept of DC bridges means, in the concept of DC bridges, we are measuring the concept, or we are measuring the component, that is unknown resistance. Unknown resistance, we are measuring unknown resistance. Okay, so if we see the circuit diagram of bridges, if we see the general circuit diagram of a bridges, if this is an existed, this is nothing but a general standard DC bridge. See, as I said in the definition itself, in the definition what I said, entire elements, electrical circuit elements are configured in the form of a ring or a bridge. See, this is a bridge. It is having 4 arms. So this is one arm. One second. This is one arm. From A to D, this is represented, this is one arm which is having an element of R1. From A to B, it is represented as second arm, it is having a resistance R2. From B to C, sorry, from D to C, it is represented as third arm, having a variable resistance, that is capital R3. From B to C, it is fourth arm, which is having a standard resistance of R4. So this is a standard DC bridge which is given with respect to an operational voltage, DC operational voltage, which is fed with respect to DC and operational voltage. Okay, so current flowing in the first arm is represented with respect to I1. Current flowing in the second arm is represented with respect to I2. Current flowing in the third arm is represented with respect to I3, whereas current flowing in the fourth arm is represented with respect to I4 respectively. Okay, so 4 arms in the bridge. Okay, the main purpose of this constructing 4 arms is to find out unknown resistance. Unknown resistance. How can we find out the unknown resistance? Means with the help of a ratio method, we will calibrate the unknown resistance. We will calculate the unknown resistance with the help of a ratio method. Okay, so how can we calculate the unknown resistance with the help of a ratio method? Means we will balance the bridge first. We will balance the bridge so that there is a null deflection in this galvanometer. When there is a null deflection in this particular galvanometer, we will balance the bridge. After balancing the bridge, we will see what is the, we will apply the ratio method and we will find out the value of unknown resistance. So first we will see the discussion. In a balanced condition, means, what is a balanced condition? Okay, whenever the galvanometer here, which is connected at the center, at the D arm and B arm, the galvanometer is connected at the center. At the balanced structure, the galvanometer will show a null deflection. Null deflection in the sense, there is no deflection in the galvanometer. Whenever there is a no deflection of galvanometer, means the bridge is balanced. The bridge is balanced. If there is no, if the bridge is not that balanced, the galvanometer will start oscillating from one point to another point in order to show certain amount of additionally unbalanced current flowing through the bridge. Okay, certain amount of unbalanced current flowing in the bridge. Unbalanced current flowing in the bridge is experienced with respect to this particular galvanometer. Okay, at a particular situation. If the bridge is balanced, at what condition bridge is balanced? I1 is, if the current flowing through branch 1 is equal to the current flowing through the branch 2, if the current flowing through the branch 3 is equal to the current flowing through the branch 4, okay, I1 is equal to I2 and I3 is equal to I4. At that instant, the bridge is in balanced condition, there is no deflection in the galvanometer. What will happen? At that instant, first arm, what is the first arm connected? First arm is R1 and second arm is nothing but R2. Okay, so R1 divided by R2 is equal to R3 divided by R4. If we cross multiply these parameters, this is the expression R1 R4 is equal to R2 R3. Okay, so what we are going to say from this circuit means, at a balanced condition, at a balanced condition, okay, in a particular DC bridge, two arms are at the balanced condition in a DC bridge, four arms are nothing. There are four arms. Two arms are equal to another two arms of the resistance. That means two fixed resistances are equal to two variable resistances, so that we can calibrate or we can calculate the unknown resistance value. That means what we are going to state here from this explanation, what we are going to say means, so from this above circuit, which we discussed earlier, okay, so when the DC voltage source is excited with the help of this particular circuit, after given the DC voltage source, see how the galvanometer is connected. The galvanometer is connected in a particular diagonal manner. See, this is how the galvanometer is connected. The galvanometer is connected in a particular diagonal segmentation such that the current flowing with the overall bridge is experienced with respect to the galvanometer. Okay, so in a particular diagonal meter we have placed the galvanometer. Okay, so whenever there is a change with respect to the resistance, whenever with respect to change in current or change in resistance, the galvanometer will show that change in deflection. Okay, galvanometer will show the change in deflection. So how can we calculate the unknown resistance? Means the calculation of unknown resistance can be done with the help of two bridges. One is Wheatstone bridge and second one is Kelvin's bridge. Two types of DC bridges are familiar. Two types of Wheatstone bridges are familiar. One is two types of DC bridges are familiar. One is Wheatstone bridge and second one is Kelvin's bridge. So before going to discuss these bridges, so from this expression, how can we calculate the unknown resistance? Okay, so we cross verified the balanced condition. Okay, we cross verified the balanced condition, R1 divided by R2, that is equal to R3 divided by R4. R3 divided by R4, we cross multiplied the expression, and R1 R4 is equal to R2 R3. So from this expression perspective, we need to, from this expression we need to find out R1. R1 is our unknown resistance. What is the value of R1? R1 is equal to R2 R3 divided by R4. What is the value? What will be the value of R4? R4 is equal to R2 R3 divided by R1. So this is the concept of substitution method. This is a concept of substitution method. We can find out whatever it may be the unknown resistance, we can know. That means from this concept of balanced method, we can clearly calculate or we can clearly calibrate whatever the unknown resistance value. Either it may be R1, it may be R4, it may be R2, or it may be R3. We can clearly substitute the value of unknown measurement, and we can next clearly observe the calculated method. So if we see the further discussion, of bridge measurement, so two types of bridges are present. One is a Wheatstone bridge and second one is Kelvin's bridge. So first we will discuss about Wheatstone bridge. So what is the main purpose of Wheatstone bridge? How can we calculate the known how can be the circuit structure of Wheatstone bridge exist? How can we do the mathematical analysis with respect to the Wheatstone bridge? That's we are going to discuss So what is the main objective of Wheatstone bridge? What is the main purpose of Wheatstone bridge? Wheatstone bridge main purpose is to measure medium resistance. This is one of the important competitive exam bit which we come across in many competitive exams. Main purpose of Wheatstone bridge. This is a common bit. Main purpose of Wheatstone bridge is to measure medium resistance. Okay, this is one of the important method, and this is a traditional method which we are exercising because it is quite accurate and it is reliable also in industrial methods. How can we measure the medium resistance? Okay, the medium resistance range exists from 1 ohm to 0.1 mega ohm, which we have already seen in the introduction. Okay, entire resistance measurement is categorized into three states. One is measuring of low resistance, one is measurement of medium resistance, And third one is measurement of high resistance. Okay, low resistance range is up to 1 ohm, medium resistance range is from 1 ohm to 0.1 mega ohm, and high resistance range is beyond 0.1 mega ohm. Okay, so here we are measuring the range of 1 ohm to 0.1 mega ohm. Okay, so how can we measurement, how can we take that concept, means while using a standard comparison method which we discussed earlier. So like this, in the previous method of comparison also we have seen. So with the help of this standard comparison method, we're going to calculate the new mathematical analysis of Wheatstone bridge. That means we have to adjust the current ratings and the resistance ratings such that we have to see a null deflection in the galvanometer. Null deflection in the galvanometer. After experiencing the null deflection in the galvanometer, okay, so the galvanometer which is placed diagonal in between the arms, four arms of the DC bridge, we can clearly experience the behavior of unknown resistance. You can clearly experience the behavior of unknown resistance. That means how the thing is, this is the Wheatstone bridge which we got. See, the Wheatstone bridge contains four arms. 1 second, let me annotate. So first arm, let me explain the circuit. Listen to me carefully. If you have any doubts with the explanation of Wheatstone bridge, just let me know in the chat box. It is very, very important according to the competitive exam point of view or with respect to your university exam, JNT university exam. Just let me know. Wheatstone bridge is having four arms. Arm 1 is represented with respect to the path AB, which is having a resistance P. Arm 2 is having a path AD, which is having the resistance R, and current flowing is I2. Arm 3 is nothing but B to C, the resistance is Q, and current flowing is I3. Arm 4 is nothing but C to D. Okay, it is a variable resistance capital S, and the current flowing is I4. Current flowing, and the current flowing is I4. So this is the description of Wheatstone bridge which we got. That means what is a bridge? Bridge is nothing but a comparative segregation of four arms in the form of a ring. So this is in the form of a ring. We segregated or we constructed the bridge in the form of a ring with the help of four arm structure. Okay, each arm, and branch and A to B is nothing but one branch or one arm. A to D is one branch or one arm. C to D is one branch or one arm, and B to C is one branch or one arm. So each arm or branch will have one or two elements. One or two elements. Here we constructed only with a single element, that is nothing but a resistance. With respect to the resistance, certain amount of current flowing in their branch or arm, and untied together we have placed the galvanometer diagonally in the center from B to D. So this is the description of galvanometer. This is the description of galvanometer, and we can also construct the supply EMF is connected with respect to the elements A to C. So this is how we connected the supply. This is how where we connected the supply is connected from A to E. Okay, DC voltage is connected here. DC voltage is constructed here. If we do the mathematical analysis, if we do the mathematical analysis, 1 second. So if we do the mathematical analysis, so we have four arms. Four arms we have. One arm is having resistance P, and next arm is having resistance R. Third arm is having resistance Q, and fourth arm is having resistance S. Okay, all together is connected with respect to an supply. All together is connected with respect to supply source, and next cross examine with respect to galvanometer. Okay, so current flowing through the galvanometer is depending upon the points with respect to C and D. So how can we say the bridge is balanced? Okay, how can we say the bridge is balanced? The bridge is balanced when there is a null deflection in the galvanometer. What is null deflection in the galvanometer? When there is no current flowing through the galvanometer. If there is no current flowing through the galvanometer, there used to be a null deflection in the galvanometer, and at that instant we can say the bridge is balanced. That means current flowing in the bridges are equal. I1 is equal to I2, I3 is equal to I4. At that instant the bridge will be balanced and there is no further deflection in the galvanometer. Okay, and we can experience a null deflection in the galvanometer and the bridge is balanced. the bridge is balanced. So at this particular instant, at this particular instant, what will happen means the voltage will flow from B to A. Let me explain. What will happen means the voltage will flow from B to A. The voltage flow from B to A equal to voltage flow from C to voltage will flow from C to D. The voltage will flow from B to C, and voltage will flow from A to D. So that means same magnitude of voltage is started flowing in these entire arms. Same magnitude of current is flowing, or same magnitude of voltage is flowing in the entire arms. If we say the bridge is in balanced condition, bridge is in balanced condition, I1 into P. I1 is nothing but current flowing in the first arm. P is nothing but the resistance in the first arm. I1 into P, that is equal to I2 into R. I2 into R. What is I2 into R? I2 is nothing but current flowing in the second arm into the resistance of the second arm. Resistance of the second arm. So at this particular balanced equation, okay, there is no deflection. There is null deflection in the galvanometer. The bridge is now in a balanced condition. The bridge is now in a balanced condition. What will happen next? The same thing is happen. I1 is equal to I1P, that is equal to I2 into R. In a balanced condition, I1 is equal to I3, that is equal to E by P plus Q. I2 is equal to I4, that is equal to E by R plus S, where E is nothing but E is nothing but EMF of the battery. Okay, E is nothing but EMF of battery. When EMF battery, when I1 is equal to I3, I1 is equal to I3, I1 is equal to I3. So the total EMF flowing through the elements from A to B and B to C. See here very carefully, listen to me. Now we are analyzing with respect to the two branches, that is A to B and B to C. A to B and B to C. The entire bridge is in balanced condition. I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3 is equal to I4. Entire bridge is in balanced condition. At that instant, current flowing from I1, current flowing from A to B, that is I1, that is equal to current flowing from B to C, that is I3, that is equal to E divided by P plus Q. E is nothing but EMF. Okay, same amount of current flowing, that's why we have the same amount of current is flowing, and same amount of EMF is flowing. That's why we have summarized the resistance values P plus Q. Same is happened with respect to I2 is equal to I4. Okay, I2 is equal to I4. Current flowing, I2 is flowing through A to D, and I4 is flowing from D to C. Both are equal. That's why the total structure of current I2 is equal to I4, that is equal to E by R plus S, where E is nothing but EMF of voltage source and resistance are combined together. So here what we did means, at a particular galvanometer 0th position, we have considered the behavior of currents with respect to EMF and resistances. So if we equalize both of them, we know that there is an null deflection in the galvanometer. Whenever there is a null deflection in the galvanometer, I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3 is equal to I4. At that instant, we have to equalize both of the resistance values, that is P by P plus Q, that is equal to R by R plus S. So from this Wheatstone bridge element, three of the resistance are known. Okay, three resistances are known. That means three resistance. What are the three resistance? P resistance is known, Q resistance is known, R resistance is also known. What is the unknown resistance? This variable resistance is the unknown resistance which we need to calculate. How can we know the unknown resistance means? How can we know the unknown resistance R? Means, so from this expression, how can we know the unknown resistance R means? R is equal, like we know the value of QR is equal to PS from the standard expression. So the value of R, that is equal to S into P by Q. So this is how we will calculate the known resistance from the unknown value. This is how we have to calculate the known resistance from unknown value. Known resistance with unknown value. So that is up to the today's class. So in today's class, we have discussed about the objective and what are the topics in DC bridges. The main purpose of DC bridge is to measure resistance. Three types of resistance we will measure. One is low resistance, and second one is medium resistance, and third one is high resistance. Okay. So next we categorize the definition of resistance and various types of resistances. And next we classified the resistance depending upon its range. The resistance is having a low range, that is up to 1 ohm. The resistance is having medium resistance, that is up to 1 ohm to 0.1 mega ohm, and the resistance of high resistance, that is 0.1 mega ohm. So there are various methods for measuring of medium resistance: ammeter, voltmeter, substitution method, and Wheatstone bridge and ohm meter method. Today's class we have seen the Wheatstone bridge method, and next we have classified definition of bridge. What is the definition of bridge? Bridge is nothing but a complete ring structure. That means four arms are connected together in the form of a ring. Okay, each arm or each branch will have two elements, and we will categorize the bridges into two types depending upon the polarity of operation. DC bridge is operated with respect to DC polarity, DC voltage source. The main purpose of DC bridge is to calculate the unknown resistance. Okay, to calculate unknown resistance. And next we have next we analyzed the general DC bridge, how a DC bridge is exercised, and what is the issue with respect to the galvanometer. What happens when the bridge is balanced? When the bridge is balanced, the galvanometer will show a null deflection. The entire thing we discussed about. And next we have seen the bridge balanced condition. And next we analyzed the DC bridges with two classifications. One is Wheatstone bridge, and second one is Kelvin's double bridge. Okay, and we also analyzed what is the main purpose of Wheatstone bridge. The main purpose of Wheatstone bridge is to measure medium resistance. Okay, how can we measure unknown resistance with the help of Wheatstone bridge? Means with the help of comparison rule. Comparison rule, we measured the unknown resistance here. So this is the Wheatstone bridge we discussed in today's class. We generalized the numerical discussion, we generalized the mathematical analysis, and we have found the unknown resistance capital R. Right. Thank you for today's class. This is up to the today's class.